Assalamu alaikum. I'm Anisa Shahzadi from BS Physics. My presentation topic is food irradiation. What is food irradiation? Irradiation is a process to applying radiation to a matter. Food radiation is a process in which application of irradiation ionizing energy to foods, the emission and propagation of energy through matter or space by electromagnetic disturbance. Food irradiation is a non-chemical process that that penetrate food to kill or prevent from microorganisms, insects, and pests. Know the radiations which irradiate food are gamma rays, X rays, ultraviolet, visible, infrared, microwaves, and radio waves. These radiations are used to irradiate food. Symbol for food irradiation. This is a symbol which is used for irradiation food. It will appear on all the things, all the foods which are irradiated. History of food irradiation. Approved for potatoes by Canada in 1960. It will approve that where or when the things are approved. Approved for potatoes by Canada in 1960. 1963 first FDA approval for insect control in wheat flour. 1986 fruit and vegetable ripening, fresh and frozen poultry to control salmonella and other pathogens in 1990. Irradiation food consumers cost. It will increase the consumer cost. For example, irradiated meats cost approximately 3 to 5 cents more a pound than a non-irradiated meat. Prices of irradiated foods are, de- are expected to decrease. Disinfestation Disinfestation of food irradiation is control of insects. Important post-harvest treatment, commercial processing of irradiated potatoes has been carried out in Japan since 1973. Prevention of foodborne illness eliminates microbes, control of insects, destroys insects and imported fruits, delay of sprouting and ripening of products, for example, potatoes. A combination treatment of low doses of gamma radiations and heat would be advantageous to cause complete killing of insects in dates or in other things. Wheat flour. Irradiation can damage insects' sexual viability or its capability of become an adult. There are some effects of irradiation on food components. There are effects of irradiation are proteins, enzymes, vitamins, lipids, carbohydrates. Now let's see about it. What are the effects on proteins? Low doses may cause molecular uncoiling, coagulation, unfolding, and even molecular cleavage, splitting of amino acids. For example, egg and milk are the best examples. When we irradiate egg, then the loss of viscosity in the white and the O flavor in the yolk. In milk, O flavor they can change their flavor, increase in renate coagulation time, and reduced heat stability. It will reduce its heat stability. Effects on carbohydrates break high molecular weight carbohydrates into smaller units. Sugar may be hydrolyzed or oxidized. Softening of fruits and vegetables through breakdown of cell wall material such as pectin. Irradiation of pure carbohydrates produced degradation products which have sugar and which have mutagenic and cytotoxic effects. These undesirable effects were produced using very high dose of irradiation. Now the effects on protein. The doses are low. With low doses, thiamine is very liable to irradiation. With the extent of vitamin C, vitamin E, and vitamin K destruction depends on the dosage used. Ascorbic acid in solution is quite labile to irradiate, but in fruits and vegetables it seems at low doses of treatment. Vitamins such as A, B12, C, E, K, and thiamine are degraded. They are degraded when irradiation is carried out in the presence of oxygen. When the oxygen is present, then vitamins are degraded. Now the multiple uses of food irradiation: dry fruits, cereals, pulses, insect disinfestation causes, and chicken, meat, fish, shelf extension, quarantine, fruits and spices, fresh foods, pathogen reduction uses, sprout inhibition, onion, potato, ginger, and garlic. They are the sprout inhibition. Sterilization. Sterilization is a process in food irradiation. When we irradiate our food, then the first process is sterilization. Irradiation can also be used to sterilize food which can be stored for years without refrigeration. It is useful for patients in the hospital, especially with impaired immunity. Sterilized foods used in hospitals, impaired immune systems, such as patients with AIDS or undergoing chemotherapy. Now, the important notice is NASA astronauts eat meat that has been sterilized by irradiation to avoid getting foodborne illness when they fly in space, because they eat meat and the meat which they use are irradiated. Now, preservation, unlike canning, using irradiation to preserve food requires no additional liquid, nor is cause the loss of natural juices. Destruction of microbes or any other living cells in food makes it spoilage and decomposition free. The rays which are used in preservation are ultraviolet rays, beta rays, gamma rays, X rays, and microwaves. These five rays are used in the process of preservation. Now, the history of food preservation. There are two methods of food preserve. We preserve food by two methods. One is old methods, and nowadays the method used is newer method. First, describe old methods. In old methods, first of all we drying our food, then fermenting, and then salting, and then smoking. In your method, first of all we refrigerate our food, then it freezing, then canning, and then we preserve it. This is a newer method, is the latest method of irradiation. Food that can be irradiated. These are the foods irradiate which are irradiated: wheat flour, potatoes, pork, fruits and vegetables, herbs and spices, meat, onions. Now, the advantages. There are many advantages of food irradiation. It can kill many insects and pests that infest foods. It can delay or stop normal ripening and decay process so that foods can be stored for longer. It can kill dangerous microorganisms in foods, because there are many dangerous microorganisms in food, but by applying food irradiation we preserve it from these microorganisms. Disadvantages. There are disadvantages of food irradiation. It can only be used on a very limited range of foods. We can preserve it for a limited range. It is still relatively expensive technology. The food which is irradiated, these are very expensive in cost because not every person bought it. Vitamin E level can be reduced by 25%. Vitamin E level after irradiation, and vitamin C by 5 to 10%. It is ineffective against viruses. Sources of radiation used in food irradiation: gamma rays, X rays, and electron beam. These are the sources. Now the gamma rays are emitted from radioactive forms of element cobalt 60 or the element cesium. Isotope is contained and stored in pool of water and raised when produced is to be exposed to gamma rays. Facility is concrete chamber with 6 to 12 thick walls completely penetrate product and packaging pallets. X-rays are produced by reflecting a high energy stream of electrons of a target substance into food. X-rays are also widely used in medicine and industry to produce images of internal structures. Electron beam. Electricity is power source switch on and off uses stream of high energy electrons accelerated at near the speed of light. Electrons are showered on the product. Facilities are shielded with concrete or steel walls. Penetrates approximately 2 to 3 of the product and packaging. Ideal for thin ground beef patties. Electron beam is similar. They are also called E beam. Is similar to X-rays and is stream of high energy electrons propelled from an electron accelerator into food. This is my presentation. Okay, thank you, sir.